All right. Once again, my name is Harry Jane. I'm a sophomore in Ezra Stiles College at Yale, and this is CS50 Finance. In this case, I've created an interactive web application using Flask, Python, and SQL, adding to our previous use of HTML and CSS for homepage. Since this page is interactive by nature, the best way to show it off is to act exactly how a user would. First, let's register for an account, which we do by clicking the register button. Then, we need to put in a username. Let's register Brian. Shout out to Brian for making such great videos. Now, while Brian is a CS teacher, he still falls into the trap of forgetting his passwords. Thus, let's keep it simple for him and make it password. Then click register. Grumpy Cat doesn't seem happy, though I'm not sure they ever are. But in this case, they say password must be 8 characters long and include at least 1 lowercase letter, 1 uppercase letter, and 1 number. Alright, well, with security being paramount in a front-end web application, I decided to implement additional password checks as my personal touch. Thus, we must meet these complexity requirements when we register for an account. To keep it simple for Brian, let's make it something simple. Let's similar. So we can do PA55W0RD, for example. Now, while still not the most secure password, it would definitely make a big difference to someone who is trying to hack into our CS50 Finance. Now, we get a message saying we registered, and we can see we have $10,000 in cash. Who knew CS50 would make you so rich? Now, let's try buying and selling some stocks. In theme with my homepage on Formula One, let's start by buying some Ferrari stock. But first, let's go to quote and see how much Ferrari stock is worth right now. Now, I know its symbol is race, so let's look that up. Pressing the quote button, we have a share of Ferrari costs $165.25. Alright, let's be conservative and buy 5 shares of that. We can use the little toggle on the right to go up to 5 shares, press buy. Now we're brought back to our homepage and it shows us the shares we have bought and how much money we have. Since it hasn't changed, we're still at $10,000, but when the market is open, you would see that change. Now, underneath the hood, and pun not intended this time, we have queried our database, adding a transaction, storing the user, the stock bought, the quantity, and the price of the stock when it was bought. This way, we can display it later and add or subtract when you buy more. Now, let's go back and be unwise automotive investors this time and buy some shares of Tesla, since we thought that presentation about the pickup truck was so great. You know, bulletproof glass being broken by a metal ball is always a great thing. So let's go back to buy, and we know Tesla is TSLA, and since we're not really paying attention, who needs to quote things? And let's say we buy 1,000 shares because we really were sold by that presentation. Grumpy Cat says to get our monies up. I think that might be some wise advice, because if we go back to quote and look up Tesla, well, there's a good check of the invalid symbol. But first, let's go correctly to Tesla. It costs $300, quite overpriced. But if we tried to buy 1,000 shares, that's a lot more money than we have. So I guess we'll have to settle for 10. Then we have, now we've had a success, and we spent a lot of our money, but we have the stocks we want. However, let's take a look at that again, and maybe I second guess myself or realize my mistakes, and I want to sell some of that Tesla stock. Then I go to sell on the top, and we have a little drop-down menu that gives us our options based on what we've already purchased. Let's say we want to sell 5 of them to hedge our bets in case it goes up. Then we press sell, and we're once again taken to our home page with our updated monetary value. As you can see, our cash has gone back up, and our Tesla shares have gone down to 5. Again, this works by querying the database, adding a transaction of negative shares to subtract what we did. Finally, if I wanted to go back and analyze what I did badly or well, I can go to the history page, which gives me every transaction I've ever made on the database. Then, by nature of our database, we could implement further features to analyze stock decisions, provide suggestion for new stocks, and more. Thus, as we come to a close with CS50 Finance and the Web Track, the possibilities are endless.